multiplying binomials. Okay, so y'all, this means a binomial times a binomial. And one of the methods that you're going to see here is going to be called the FOIL method. I'm going to show you two different ways to do this. Okay, now I won't do every single problem both ways. I will do quite a few of them both ways, but I won't do every single one. And all that's going to happen is you're just going to decide, which way you feel is better for you. Okay, so I don't actually call it the FOIL method. I just simply say, instead of using the FOIL method, we are just going to distribute. Okay, that's the first method. And then the other method is going to be the box method. All right, that's the two methods we're going to use. So I'm going to do one of each right here. Okay, so example number one, I will distribute, which is technically what they call FOIL. I just don't use the fancy terms for those. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this x right here. Okay, and I'm going to take this x to this x and to that 4. So just like we did whenever we were just multiplying polynomials. Okay, so I'm going to do x times x plus x times 4. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the 2. I'm going to do 2 times, so plus 2 times x plus 2 times 4. And now I'm going to simplify. So remember from yesterday or whenever y'all watched it, that's x squared plus 4x plus 2x plus 8. And now we're going to combine our like terms. Normally when you do this, y'all, I say normally because it's not every single time. There's always an exception. The two middle terms are going to be the ones that are alike. So that's going to be x squared plus 6x plus 8 is going to be our answer. Okay, so that's the distributive method. You literally basically cover up one of them and you distribute the first one to the other two parentheses, and then you distribute the second one to the second parentheses. Just the distributive property. Okay, because you've been doing distributive property for a long time. All right, the other way is what we call the box method. Okay, so it's kind of like a Punnett square. So I'm going to draw me a square here. Okay, like so. And it doesn't matter where you put them, but I'm going to put the first one across the top, let's say. So 2x and plus 1, and the second one down the side. So x and minus 5. And then I'm just going to fill it in by multiplying what goes where. So 2x times x is going to give me 2x squared. X times 1 is going to give me positive 1x. 2x times negative 5 is negative 10x. And negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. And then again, usually, because there's always an exception, but usually what I call like little peanut, the diagonal here, okay, is your like terms. So you've got 2x squared plus 1x minus 10x minus 5, which gives me 2x squared minus 9x minus 5 as my answer. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this, I'm just going to do the first like 10 or so in these notes, depending on time. If I can get to the second page, hang on. Okay, and then we'll skip and do a couple more. I might not even do the whole first 10, okay? But I will do all of my odd problems just by the distributive property. I'll do all of my even problems with the box method, okay? So let's do the first couple of odd problems. So we're going to look at 1, 3, 5, and 7, okay? So distribute, I'm going to do y times y plus y times 1, and then I'm going to do plus 8 times y plus 8 times 1. Okay, and we're going to simplify that out. So that's y squared plus 1y plus 8y plus 8. And when we combine, we get y squared plus 9y plus 8. Okay. All right, so number 3 would be x times x minus 10 times, minus x. Let me redo that. X times x minus, okay, because we're covering that. So minus 4 times x minus 10 times x, and then minus 10 times negative 4. So that is x squared minus 4x minus 10x plus 40. Again in the middle, that's a minus 14x plus 40. Now, with the distributive property, a lot of times, you are going to you got to pay close attention to your signs, okay? All right, so over here, let's do the box on a couple. So k minus 4 and k plus 5. So that's k squared minus 4k plus 5k minus 20. So again, k squared minus 4k plus 5k minus 20, and we get k squared plus k minus 20. All right, same thing here. X plus 2 and x minus 2 gives me x squared plus 2x minus 2x minus 4. And those cancel, so I'm just left with x squared minus 4. Okay. All right, let's do a couple more distributive property ones here. So 4x times x, then 4x times 3, and then negative 7 times x and negative 7 times 3. So that's 4x squared plus 12x minus 7x minus 21 gives me 4x squared plus 5x minus 21. Okay, and then one more of those. 3y times 3y. So 3y to there, and then 3y times 2. And then we're going to do 1 times 3y and 1 times 2. So that's 9y squared plus 6y plus 3y plus 2, or 9y squared plus 9y plus 2. Okay. And then a couple more box methods over here. So that's 5n squared minus 5n minus 4n plus 4. Which gives me 5n squared minus 9n plus 4. Sorry. All right, and then I'm going to skip down to 10 just real quick. Okay, and draw that one out for you. 3w plus 1 and 3w minus 1. So that's 9w squared, 3w, negative 3w, and negative 1. So 9w squared plus 3w minus 3w minus 1. Again, those cancel, so our final answer is just 9w squared minus 1. All right, so usually you end up with either 3 terms, which is another trinomial, or 2 terms, which is a binomial. Either one, okay? All right, so let me zoom out a little bit and flip this over to the next page. All right, so we don't see a lot of the double variable ones in here, so I'm only going to do like one of each of these. So I'll do 11 and 12. Okay, so distributive property here, so it's going to be 5x times x, and then 5x times negative y, and then 4y times x, and 4y times negative y. So that gives me 5x squared minus 5xy plus 4. X, y, and y, x are the same, so I'm going to write them the same, okay, minus 4y squared. So I do combine those, which gives me 5x squared minus 1xy minus 4y squared. But again, we don't see a whole bunch of those, so just kind of covering it in case you see it. Try to make this box a little bigger. So that's 2a plus 5b and a minus 4b. All right, so 2a times a is going to give me 2a squared. A times 5b is going to be 5ab. 2a times negative 4b is going to be negative 8ab. And 5 times negative 4 is negative 20b squared. So 2a squared plus 5ab minus 2ab minus 20b squared, running out of room. So that's 2a squared minus 3ab minus 20b squared. Okay, so now I'm going to jump down to our examples 15, 16, 17, those. Okay, anytime you're squaring something, if I ask y'all in class a lot of times, like, what does it mean to square something? You're like, oh, multiply it times itself. And you are absolutely correct. Okay, so what I mean by that, and that's what we're going to do, we're going to write it out. Okay, so I'm going to write it twice. Okay, don't try to distribute. You cannot distribute that square across that plus sign. All right, because a lot of times that's what we did. Next one was we tried to distribute that square in, but there wasn't a plus there. Okay, so now if we use the distributive property here, it's going to be x times x, and then x times 4, and then 4 times x, and then 4 times 4. So x squared plus 4x plus another 4x plus 16 gives me x squared plus 8x plus 16. Okay? And then I'll box it with the remaining one. Okay? So if I box this out, again, there's 2 of these. So it's going to be p minus 7 on top and p minus 7 on the side. P times p is p squared minus 7p plus 49. So that is p squared minus 14p plus 49. Okay. All right, I'm going to do number 17, and then I'm going to jump real quick and just do a couple down here of 19 and so forth. But I'm going to use the distributive property. Well, I'll do one of each on those two. Okay, so again, if this is 2m minus 5 times 2m minus 5. So I'm going to go 2m times 2m, and then 2m times negative 5, and then negative 5 times 2m, and negative 5 times negative 5. Which would give me 4m squared minus 20m plus 25. Okay? All right, so down here on these down here, notice you got a binomial 2 and a trinomial 3. Okay, so I'm going to do the distributive property first. Now I'm going to do this one a little bit different, just because of room, of space issues. Okay, so I'm going to do the x first. So x times x squared, and then x times 3x, and then x times negative 6. Maybe I can fit this here. We'll try. Okay, and then it's going to be 4 times x squared, 4 times 3x, and 4. Oh, it's really close. All right, so now let's simplify that. That's x cubed plus 3x squared minus 6x plus 4x squared plus 12x minus 24. And now we're going to combine like terms. So x cubed is part of our answer. 3x squared plus 4x squared is 7x squared. Negative 6x plus 12x is positive 6x. And then we're going to put this minus 24 down there with it. Okay. Now, I am going to show you number 21 using the box. Okay, but I'm going to probably have to use both of these to show you this. So ignore number 22 for now. Okay, so we're going to do 21 using the box method real quick. You can make the box either way. Okay, so I'm going to go long ways. Okay, and the reason I had to do that is because remember I've got a binomial, so a 3a plus 1, and a trinomial. Okay, all right. I'll make sure y'all can see. Okay, so let's multiply. 5a squared times 3a is 15a cubed. 3a times 2a is going to give me 6a squared minus 18a. And then 1 times everything is going to be the same. All right. So, like terms, right here, we got our squareds. We've got our a's. And that should be your answer. Okay? All right, so there's kind of one of each of those, okay? And we would do the same thing down here on number 23. We'll talk about that one in class, and I will discuss that one later if necessary. Okay?